Hey developers, welcome to Devcovery. Today, we're bringing you the hottest open source projects trending on GitHub, so you don't miss any tech developments worth your attention.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into a trending project on GitHub, gogcli, a command line interface for the entire Google suite. This Go-powered tool lets you manage Gmail, Google Calendar, Drive, and contacts directly from your terminal, bringing developer-friendly workflows to everyday productivity tasks. With over 600 stars gained just today, it's transforming how developers interact with Google's ecosystem without ever opening a browser. A GitHub project launched just days ago has already soared past 2,900 stars. Over 600 of those came in a single day. What kind of tool could generate this momentum? The answer is simple. It solves a problem developers face every single day: managing Google's vast ecosystem of services without leaving the terminal. Meet gogcli, a command line interface that brings Gmail, Calendar, Drive, and over a dozen other Google services into your scripting workflow. Gogcli is the brainchild of Peter Steinberger, a developer known for his high-velocity approach to software creation. Built in Go, this CLI tool addresses a fundamental friction point. Developers who prefer command-line environments have historically juggled multiple disparate tools, or they've resorted to clunky web interfaces to manage Google services. Gogcli unifies access to Gmail, Calendar, Drive, Docs, Sheets, Chat, Contacts, Tasks, and more under a single binary. The project's traction speaks volumes. 2,956 stars total, 630 added today alone, 257 forks. But the numbers only tell part of the story. What's remarkable is the tool's laser focus on security, automation, and user control. Before gogcli, developers faced a fragmented landscape. Want to automate Gmail label management? Use one tool. Need to script calendar event creation? Reach for another. Each tool came with its own authentication flow, configuration files, and API quirks. The pain points multiplied in CI/CD environments where browser-based OAuth flows broke down. Enterprise users hit additional walls. Service accounts with domain-wide delegation required custom scripting for each Google API. The existing solutions like GMCLI, GCCII, and GDCII pioneered command-line access but remained siloed by service. Gogcli's unique angle is unification without compromise. It doesn't just aggregate commands. It provides a cohesive authentication layer that handles both personal OAuth credentials and enterprise service accounts, all while maintaining strict least privilege principles. This matters because modern DevOps workflows demand scriptable, repeatable operations across multiple Google services, something no previous tool delivered in a single package. At its architectural core, gogcli employs a three-layer design that separates concerns cleanly. The CLI layer, likely built on Cobra framework, handles command parsing and routing. The service logic layer sits in internal CLI, where each Google service gets its own module: Gmail, Go, Calendar, Go, Drive, Go. These modules aren't simple API wrappers. They add semantic abstraction. For instance, calendar events today translates natural language into precise API time range queries. The authentication layer is where gogcli truly shines. It leverages github.com/99designs/keyring to interface with OS-native secure storage, macOS keychain, Linux secret service, Windows credential manager. For headless environments where no keyring exists, it falls back to an encrypted on-disk store protected by password. This dual-mode security model is uncommon in CLI tools. More impressive is how it manages multiple OAuth clients simultaneously. You can store separate credentials for work and personal accounts, configure per-account service account delegation, even map domain patterns to specific OAuth clients. Token refresh happens automatically. The system distinguishes between user OAuth flows and enterprise service account impersonation with domain-wide delegation. Think of this as a universal translator for Google APIs. It normalizes authentication complexity while exposing a consistent command surface. The JSON first output philosophy deserves special mention. By strictly separating data on stout and logging on stare, gogcli enables clean piping with tools like JQ and zargs, making it a first-class citizen in Unix-style automation pipelines. Who uses gogcli and how? The primary audience spans DevOps engineers, system administrators, and developers who live in terminal environments. Imagine a CI/CD pipeline that needs to download invoice attachments from specific Gmail labels after a deployment completes. Previously, this required custom Python scripts with Google API client libraries. With gogcli, it's a one-liner. Gog Gmail search label invoices newer than 1D JSON pipe to JSON, R threads, ID pipe to Jovers, N 1 Gog Gmail thread get download. Enterprise IT teams use it to batch manage team calendars, query free busy status for resource allocation, or automate Google Workspace directory lookups. The tool's service account support makes it ideal for server-side automation where user interaction isn't possible. A notable integration is with OpenClaw, an AI agent framework. Developers have built skills that leverage gogcli to automate calendar scheduling, email management, and task tracking through conversational interfaces. The entry barrier is deliberately low. Install via Homebrew. Create a Google Cloud OAuth client. Run gog auth add. You're operational. The learning curve scales with usage. Basic commands like gog, Gmail, search work immediately. Power users can dive into advanced flags like drive scope for granular permission control. Community reception has been overwhelmingly positive, though discussion volume remains modest given the project's youth. Developers praise the unified interface as a game changer for Google Workspace automation. The JSON output capability consistently draws praise. One user noted, "It finally makes Google services feel like Unix utilities." Integration with AI agent frameworks has sparked particular interest. Some users applaud Peter Steinberger's development approach. He's been transparent about using AI-assisted coding to maintain high velocity. On the skeptical side, concerns focus on dependency risk. The tool's lifespan is tethered to Google's API stability. Any breaking changes in Gmail, Calendar, or Drive APIs could cascade into gogcli maintenance burdens. One developer flagged that service account security relies on users protecting JSON key files, a potential weak link in enterprise deployments. So far, no major stability issues or feature gaps have surfaced in public discussions, suggesting the core implementation is solid. Beyond the immediate utility, gogcli hints at a broader shift in how developers interact with cloud services. As AI agents gain traction in workflows, tools that expose structured, machine-readable interfaces become critical infrastructure. Gogcli's design philosophy, treating Google services as scriptable primitives, positions it well for this future. However, the sustainability question looms large. Supporting 13+ Google services across evolving APIs is a maintenance marathon, not a sprint. The project's codebase size will balloon as new features arrive. Comprehensive testing against real Google APIs is notoriously difficult. There's also an open question about competitive moats. If Google were to officially release a unified CLI tool, gogcli would lose its primary advantage. The project's MIT license allows forks and commercial derivatives, which could fragment the ecosystem. On the flip side, gogcli fills a genuine gap that Google has ignored for years. Enterprise developers need this kind of tooling yesterday. Its real value may be in forcing Google's hand to improve their own developer experience. One thing is certain, if you're building automation atop Google Workspace today, ignoring gogcli means reinventing significant portions of its authentication and API abstraction layers. Gogcli isn't just another CLI wrapper around Google APIs. It's a carefully architected bridge between terminal workflows and Google's sprawling service ecosystem. Its rapid star growth reflects a simple truth. Developers have been waiting for exactly this kind of tool. Whether you're automating CI, CD processes, scripting calendar management for teams, or building AI agents that need Google Service access, gogcli offers a compelling alternative to cobbling together custom solutions. The real question isn't whether it's useful. It clearly is. The question is whether its momentum can sustain the maintenance burden of tracking 13 plus rapidly evolving APIs. For now, if you work with Google Workspace programmatically, this belongs in your toolkit.
That's all for today's Devcovery. We hope these GitHub trending projects spark some inspiration for your development work. You can find all the repos mentioned in the description below. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you tomorrow at the same time.